Greetings and welcome to the Introduction to Astronomy. In this week's Misconception in Astronomy, we are going to talk about our moon and find it only comes out at night. So, what do we know about our moon? Does it come out only at night? Well, as many of you probably know, the answer is a definite no there. The moon is often seen during the day. However, this really depends on the phase of the moon and when it's going to be visible. Certain phases of the moon would be easier to see at night, and other phases would be able to be seen during the day. So let's take a look at the full moon, which is pictured here. Full moon rises as the sun sets and sets as the sun rises. That means that it's always visible at night and is not visible during the day because as the sun sets, the day ends, therefore it's nighttime when the full moon is rising. Now, we also have to consider that there are a few days right around full moon, and some of those are the moon would not quite be full, but it might look full to your eyes, and therefore it may look like there is a full moon in the daytime, but really if it's the exact day of the full moon, it would be rising right as the sun sets and setting as the sun rises. So the full moon is really only seen when the sun is below the horizon. Now, how about the other phases? Well, let's look at the crescent phase. So in the crescent phase pictured here, we know that this is always close to the sun in the sky. So the crescent phase can never be seen at the very darkest time of night because it's always going to be very close to the location of the sun in the sky. And you're going to see it right after sunset. So you can see it at night, but it will be much harder to see simply because it's going to set very quickly after the sun or rise right before the sun in the morning. So sometimes this can be seen during the day. It really just depends on how much of the crescent is illuminated. Now, easier to see during the day are the quarter or gibbous phases, and we see one pictured here. Now, there it is very faint and hard to see, but the moon is still definitely bright enough to be seen during the day. These are phases that are most often seen during daylight hours. Of course, they're prominent at night, and as it gets closer and closer to full, you're only going to be seeing it generally at nighttime because it won't be out until the sun is nearly below the horizon. Now, the one phase that we have not talked about here would be the new phase. Well, the new moon is not visible at all, so you don't see it, but there are times when you can see it, and that is during an eclipse. Now, you can't see the moon itself, but you can see what it's doing, and there it's taking a little bite out of the sun. That is the moon, and in fact, the illuminated side is facing away from us, so we're seeing the nighttime side of the moon, which is dark, and therefore it blocks out the sun, and we just see its silhouette against it. But that is a way to be able to see the new moon during the day, but only during the times of a solar eclipse. So let's go ahead and finish up with our summary, and what we've looked at here today is that yes, the moon can be seen during the day, and it will stand out more at night because the brighter sun at that point is below the horizon, making the moon easier to see. But when and how easily it is seen depends on the phase of the moon. So that concludes this week's Misconception in Astronomy on the moon only being visible at night. We'll be back again next week for another Misconception in Astronomy. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.